that long ago that XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. And again, that's before you had these exogenous factors that I would say were unnatural, maybe not ethical in debate, but and I think now you're seeing that change. And I think with a level playing field, I almost think about it as if you hold a basketball under the water long enough, eventually you let go of it, and it shoots up. But why are we surprised by this?
Is the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, hinting at the fact that Ripple's XRP token is likely going to overtake Ethereum as the second most valuable cryptocurrency by market cap? Now, when you look at the market caps of XRP currently sitting at about $140 billion, then you have Ethereum sitting at about another $300+ billion above XRP. It would take $300+ billion right now to enter XRP and virtually no dollars to enter Ethereum in order for it to surpass it, or at least by the end of the bull market, XRP would have to see far more money flows. But is this possible? And would it take a Ripple stock market IPO, which is currently in the works for 2025, according to some analysts? If this happens, it may be the largest piece of crypto news since Bitcoin first hit $20,000 back in 2017, which made it a legitimate asset. Now, an IPO would likely make the price of XRP skyrocket to heights that even I think sound crazy, but markets tend to overshoot and overcorrect. And with the full force of the stock market behind XRP, there's no telling how high XRP could actually go this time around. Now, it's not only this, but some major changes are underway for the entire crypto market, and definitely XRP, as the entire foundation of Washington is being shaken up. Gensler is officially out, and a new pro-crypto SEC chairman, Paul Atkin, is set to become chairman. It's likely they either drop the suit altogether or settle in favor of Ripple. Then in just 2 weeks, Donald Trump is the most pro-crypto president in history, and he is set to enter the White House. And now, one thing is for sure, the US will implement a Bitcoin strategic reserve just like we did back in the day with gold, and became the largest holders of gold in the world. Now, currently, we hold more Bitcoin than any other country in the world. As you can see right here, according to BitcoinTreasuries.net, the United States is currently sitting on about 198,000 Bitcoin. The next closest competitor is 190, and that is China. However, with the Donald Trump presidency, there will be a mandate to consistently buy more Bitcoin and buy at least 1 million Bitcoin. In other words, if this trend continues, the US will maintain market dominance. This action will essentially lower the supply of Bitcoin that is available and seriously increase demand for Bitcoin as other nations follow suit, and it creates loads of FOMO between other countries. Currently, 21 countries are considering Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, and yes, it will likely set off global FOMO chain reaction. Now think about it. If other countries see other countries following the US, what do you think they are going to do? And what do you think market participants and fund managers are going to do? They're all going to buy Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin is seriously in demand and there is low supply, basic economics take place. The price of Bitcoin will go up, and when Bitcoin goes up, the entire crypto market follows. So we know that a Bitcoin strategic reserve is in play, but what would happen if they also added XRP to that strategic reserve? As some people think it is a stronger candidate given its adoption by banks and governments to move trillions of dollars in real use cases. Well, we'll be sure to discuss this as well as the odds of a Ripple stock market IPO and what that would do for the price of XRP. Now, one of the greatest technical analysts currently living, Peter Brandt, shared that XRP has the potential to run up to $500 billion market cap this market cycle. But with all of this bullish news, I'll also discuss the likelihood that XRP will overtake Ethereum this bull market cycle as the second most valuable crypto in the world. So let's get into the video, my friend. And as always, if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Hello and welcome back to the channel, my friend. If you're new here, my name is Paul. You can find me on Twitter or X at PaulieDeFi, PaulieDeFi. And I would like to start the video with a bit of technical analysis into the price on XRP, and then we'll dive into some of this groundbreaking news, which is pretty exciting. But the reason I want to do the technical analysis is because it will be a perfect segue into that analysis from Peter Brandt, which talks about XRP hitting a $500 billion market cap and whether or not that's possible and what those catalysts would be, like a Ripple IPO in the stock market, and how that would actually differ from a spot ETF and what all of that means if you're new to this stuff. But that said, I'm going to go ahead and dump some effort into this chart. Now listen, folks, there are so many ways to do technical analysis, and I think it's really important that I preface the way that I do this to give you some context. Many people use all sorts of fancy indicators, and they'll toss all sorts of interesting things on there. I have favorites, I have alpha trend. I mean, I've used TradingView forever, and you can pull up indicator after indicator after indicator, but at the end of the day, when your charts begin to look messy, what ends up happening is it can create confusion when really all you would ever need to do is look at a few indicators. And more often than not, it really comes down to having your bases covered with some price action, with some horizontal supports and resistances that look like this. When it comes to the trend, knowing how to actually count a trend or look at a trend for a series of higher highs and higher lows. So if this is our major low, where's our next low? Well, our next low came in a little higher. Then when was our first high? Here. Next low here. Next high here. Next low here. High, low, high, and double, bottom, triple bottom type situation right here. So that said, what does it look like? It looks like it's going up. This is an uptrend with an intermediate term downtrend. Longer term uptrend, intermediate term downtrend. We're using horizontal supports and resistances. We're using price action. And then finally, we're using volume to confirm what actual money is doing, okay? Because at the end of the day, we can make all sorts of assumptions. We can make all of these claims, but if the money is not behind the move, then something is off, okay? Someone can say institutions are entering, but if you don't actually see institutional money flows through volume, then something is off. So it doesn't matter what people say, as they say, don't listen to what people say, watch what they do. Well, it's actually no different when it comes to price action, and especially when it comes to volume. If the volume doesn't confirm something to me, that's a good indicator that something is off. So a lot of the times I'll like to go to, let's say, XRP USDT on Binance, because this is more of a realistic approach to volume on XRP, considering currently we're trading at about $95.5 million of volume. But back here, let's say on January 1st of 2025, we saw about $312 million of volume. And that's going to differ across all exchanges. However, when it comes to Binance, Binance is the largest exchange by volume consistently. And so for that reason, I do like to use their chart. Maybe not for all the history, but I do like to use it because it seems to be pretty accurate and kind of your base. I usually use Kraken, totally fine. As long as the chart looks really similar, I'm happy. If you see a chart that has all sorts of weird wicks and price action and maybe looks incomplete, or you have big old gaps between prices, that's because it is illiquid. So this is a pretty liquid situation. Now, in yesterday's video, I did cover how we have a consistent series of lows right down here at about $2 all the way down to $1.95. Okay, so I'm going to put two lines right there. And as you can see on this last breakdown, we actually failed to break below these lows. I would have expected one final break below these lows to essentially liquidate a lot of long orders, if you will, and then to see the price move up. However, that didn't actually happen. We actually were supported at the $2 range before making some new highs. Then I said we had to hold or break above $2.32 on a daily time frame. And as you can see here, this almost played out to a T. Not only did we hold above here on a daily time frame, if I come to that D or daily time frame, but we broke right back down and were supported at the $2.32 range. Something that I said we would like to see, and a place that for a potential entry on a retrace. Then I like to use just a few common indicators, things that I think a lot of people in the markets look at and see. And so if a lot of people in the markets look at it and see, you may say, well, that's not a good indicator because everyone's using it. But if everyone's using it and using that to base their analysis, maybe it gives us some context. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've been doing this for years and years. We're talking almost, well, actually 9 years in crypto in particular. And what I found is sometimes just keeping it basic really works well. And that this 10 and 20 EMA trading strategy for me works really well as well. That said, we had a consistent uptrend where we were holding the range above the 10 EMA and were supported right here on November 26th before printing some new highs on XRP. Then we started to see the price break down below the 10 and 20 EMA. The 20 EMA is obviously that orange line. And whenever you get the blue line cross over the orange line or the fast moving average over the slower moving average, this looks like a good time to enter, especially when you get a confluence or multiple factors like a support right here and a bounce. So yes, although we have failed to break out and although volume has consistently declined, this is a good indicator that right now would be a good time to accumulate because we have consistently been playing with the top of this descending wedge or triangle. So a break above here and definitely above this horizontal support and resistance right here at $2.60 to 61 cents is going to be massive for XRP. So I would argue anything into this range on a bit of growth in volume on a daily time frame is going to be huge because when you look at the volume right now, you can see that it increased to the upside. So I'll go ahead and put one line right here, and then I'll put another line right here. You can see that through this time frame from November 10th to December 2nd, XRP was consistently trending strong to the upside. Since that point in time, and really since that first major sale day right here, I'll put another line right there, till present day, you can see that we've been in intermediate term downtrend for a series of lower highs. So this is our first major high, next lower high, next lower high. Volume has been declining. But from November 10th, look at this. It's almost textbook at 58 cents till $2.90 right up here on December, I can't really see the date right here, 2nd to the 3rd, the price skyrocketed. So volume is a very good indicator of some major moves. That said, I would like to see volume increase into this range and definitely on a break above the $2.60 range. If we see volume do something like this again, where it starts to expand to the upside like this is a good indicator that volume in the future moves is going to look something more like this or closer to those local highs. So I do believe no matter what happens, as volume continues to contract and as the price continues to gain some strength and build a base here, what I like to call a base is a range of support right here, then guess what? A breakout should look really freaking good for XRP. So this is something that I'm actually currently adding my position to now. I've been adding since the little breakdown right here to $2.30, and I will definitely be adding into a confirmation above the 260 range and in this range right here. A break below this 10 and 20 EMA at this point is going to be a bit more risky for me, and a break in here, let me just remove all of these drawings so you can really see it. A break below this 20 EMA at $2.30, not looking too good, and most definitely I would not like to see a break below that $2.20 to $2.18 range. This is our danger zone. So if we come right back down into this range one last time, let me go ahead and just draw this out like this, and then are supported, I'm happy. However, and sometimes that does happen. Sometimes you'll see like a little bit of a retrace to scare some players out before you move to the upside, right? However, if that does not happen and you see a break like this, a resistance right here, let me just go ahead and remove those drawings again to make it simpler on you. Let's go ahead and put that $2.18 line there, if I could get the dang tool on there, and then right here at about 230. So we'll go ahead and do that. Man, they changed it again, and I keep dragging these tools instead of grabbing them. That said, if we do something like this, break down here, resistance at the 20 or 10 EMA, and break further down right below this $2.18 range, I'm officially going to take the majority of my profit on XRP because it's likely we're coming right back down here to that $2.47 range. And something like that can also happen. So at the end of the day, in markets, nothing is guaranteed. And although we have a lot of positive news on XRP, for whatever reason, the markets are telling us something is off, something is wrong. The price is ultimately king. So if you're already massively in profit on XRP and you're not too worried about it going to $1.47, 1.7. You're not too worried about seeing, a retrace or a loss on your portfolio. Currently looking at about 38%. That's a pretty deep retrace in my opinion, something that I don't want to sit through. Then go, so be it. However, for investors, maybe you're looking at long-term capital gains. I don't know. But for me, that's not a loss I'm willing to take. I would argue I'd rather pay capital gains tax than take a 38% loss tax, if you will. Okay, because that's a big loss. So that said, that's how I'm going to be playing this thing. I hope you learn something new on that, but things are looking really good from the perspective of XRP, and that's exactly why Peter Brandt shared this. He shared half-mast flags, and let me get out of the way here, should complete within 6 weeks. Otherwise, they should be viewed with great suspicion. This flag in XRP needs to rock and roll soon. Otherwise, it would likely morph into something else to be announced. But if it completes, then market cap of 500 billion is possible. And so as you can see here, typically what they do with these half-mast flags, if you will, is they take a 100% move from the downside right here at $28 billion all the way up to $165 billion in the local high. And a break of this range right here should take us up to 500. And we'll go ahead and click on that image so you can really see it. A $502 billion market cap. So that really begs the question, is it possible for something like XRP to see a $500+ billion market cap? I think very much so. And if XRP went to a $500 billion market cap, well, as you can see here, the market cap of XRP did pump exactly from that $28 billion range up to about $139.2 billion. Now, what's really interesting is if you look at the market cap right now, we are also currently being supported at the previous all-time high market cap. The previous all-time high market cap when XRP pumped to about $3.31 to $3.34 on most major US market exchanges. And I believe it was like $3.80 on Korea exchanges, but again, very illiquid. So, when you see this type of parabolic action, anything can happen in terms of market cap depending on liquidity. But what's really interesting is, as you can see here, this is seeming to be a local support on the current market cap. So if I really zoom out, look at this. Now, why is it that the price of XRP is currently sitting about $2.41, 44 cents? The market cap is higher back here, yet the price of XRP was $3.30 back here. Well, this is what we call dilution, or better yet, inflation in their token. In other words, there are more tokens in the current circulating supply than there were back here, which is why the price is lower, but the market cap is actually higher. And we're seeing the exact same thing on Solana. So just for context, right, if you pull up Solana, you can see the market cap was $80 billion back in November of 2021 when the price of Solana hit about $260-ish. Currently, the market cap is above that range, sitting at about $103 billion, and it had an all-time high of $125 billion, and it has failed to break into that $260 territory. Again, this is simply due to inflation. More tokens are hitting the supply. Inevitably, the market cap is going to go up as more people buy it. However, the price of the token is going to struggle to go above that. So now let's go ahead and compare something like XRP, right? This XRP market cap currently sitting at $140 billion versus, or relative to, the Ethereum market cap. As you can see, the Ethereum market cap is sitting at $438 billion. Now, what's really interesting is in the previous bull run, right, from March 2020 up to the local highs in May of 2021 into November of 2021, Ethereum's market cap hit a peak of $549 billion, while XRP in that same time frame was sitting about $74 billion. But really what I'm after is looking at the trend or trajectory. In other words, in a bull market, both market caps will rise, and that's virtually inevitable, as even you can see it right back here. XRP had a market cap that was trending to the upside, and in that same time frame, so was Ethereum. So it's highly unlikely that Ethereum won't do the exact same thing again. However, currently, I believe XRP is out outperforming Ethereum. And we'll take a look at that in a second. And then we'll look at those catalysts, which could actually propel it above Ethereum. But is it possible this bull market cycle? Now, listen, folks, I would be totally remiss if I did not share bullrunners.com with you before we continue the video. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis or even fundamental analysis like a pro and learn what I just shared with you far more in depth, then go ahead and go to bullrunners.com to check out Altcoin Pro University. This is your one-stop shop for your best education platform on the planet with the strongest community on the planet as a crypto university. This is your ticket to becoming a crypto millionaire in 2025. Now, that's obviously something we cannot guarantee that is going to happen for you, right? It's very dependent on the level of effort you put in. It's very dependent on the amount of money that you have to invest in crypto. But at the end of the day, I do believe we provide the right tools, training, and resources. We have pros that are consistently sharing altcoin picks, that 5x, 10x, 50x, you name it. We have live calls where you can actually ask questions if you have them. And all you got to do is go to bullrunners.com and check it out. Currently, we have about almost 1,200 members. You can watch this 26-minute video that explains everything you get on the other side. There's so much more than what I just shared, but I don't have the time to share it right now. So this 26-minute video will do the job. And if you haven't already, go to bullrunners.com. I will see you on the other side. Let's get back into the video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here is the deal. I believe that the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is going to be a strong catalyst for the entire crypto market to rally. That's going to include things like Ethereum, because Ethereum currently has a spot ETF. And I do believe the spot ETF is on the way for XRP. Now, a spot ETF, all it means is that it is an exchange traded fund that allows for institutional players or investors or anyone through a traditional stock market type environment to buy XRP in a regulated manner. Through those ETFs, they'll be able to basically hold the underlying asset XRP, but instead they'll hold a stock. So in the case of Bitcoin with BlackRock, the actual ticker is IBIT. Then BlackRock has to go and actually buy the spot or underlying asset of Bitcoin and then be a custodian to it. They hold Bitcoin and then it changes depending on the amount of supply and demand. So if people continue to sell IBIT, then BlackRock would have to sell IBIT. Or excuse me, Bitcoin. However, if people continue to buy IBIT, then BlackRock has to buy and hold Bitcoin. So it also plays a role in the supply and demand of any asset. That said, would XRP actually be a strategic reserve asset like Bitcoin for the US government? I do not believe that's the case, because Ripple is a private company that currently holds the rest of the XRP supply in escrows. And yes, that XRP will go directly to Ripple. Currently, the circulating supply of XRP is sitting at 57 billion tokens. The max supply is 100 billion tokens. In other words, since we've last talked about circulating supply versus max supply, which is probably weeks ago, you can see that it was $53 billion in circulation, or 53 billion XRP in circulation. We're currently sitting at 57 billion, which means they've actually released another 4 billion XRP into circulation. This was probably added through ETPs or sold to institutions. I'm not too sure how this actually was added. All I know is that it was, and that this is actually verified on the blockchain by CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. So yes, as more supply hits the market, XRP can actually, or Ripple can actually sell it or add it to the market, which should be like a dual-edged sword. It's positive because this means there's more demand for XRP, but on the flip side, it's going to suppress the price of XRP just a little. So as that is said, the real question would be, what would create for a dynamic or be a catalyst for XRP to actually surpass Ethereum, as Brad Garlinghouse in the beginning of this video was kind of hinting at? Well, I think one of those things that would really make it stand above the rest is an actual IPO. Now, an IPO is obviously different than an ETP or an ETF, because an IPO is basically creating a public company out of Ripple. So yes, it will create a lot more, I would say, opportunities for Ripple as a company to have access to capital to then go and build their business model and then support the price of XRP. But at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen this year, considering Garlinghouse noted the challenges the company has faced from the SEC during the regime of the crypto skeptic chairman Gary Gensler. I was about to say Cherry Gensler, as a reason why it has not yet considered the possibility of an IPO, even though we're going to have a pro crypto Paul Atkins at the helm now. And so it's also important to remember that Ripple is actually venture backed as a startup, and the company has raised $325 million in venture capital funding since its founding. The latest round was a Series C completed in September of 2020, raising $200 million. In other words, if Ripple went public, their valuation would be sitting at $11.3 billion as a company, which is far below the current value or the market cap of XRP, the token, which is currently sitting at $139 billion. Now, this is based on a January 2024 tender offer reported by Reuters. However, even Brad Garlinghouse is skeptical of that now. He's saying it's far likely more high. And that's because the XRP price has gone up tremendously. Now, when you actually look at XRP, yes, when it's released to Ripple in the escrow, and it actually is released every single month, and if they really wanted to, they could supply the entire market with it, but that would be foolish because that would really harm the price of XRP. So they're being really smart with their holding. They currently hold about $100 billion of XRP, and he pointed out that the private market valuation of his company remains hugely discounted compared with its net asset value. So in other words, if there was an IPO for Ripple as a company, and let's just say it IPO'd at like a 12 to a $20 billion market cap, I do believe that people would see serious value in that price and they would buy the crap out of it. And this demand in the stock market for Ripple ownership would likely play a role in propelling the price of XRP as well to some insane new all-time highs. But again, I think that is highly unlikely this time around, or at least this year, considering in a recent interview, he even said an IPO has not been a high priority for us. And part of this is because the SEC is not our friend. We want to make sure our shareholders have liquidity. We want to make sure our shareholders are happy. We want to make sure the company is valuated appropriately. And so we don't take anything off the table, but it's not a high priority. Maybe that has changed since Donald Trump will be taking office and we'll have a new SEC chairman. But at the end of the day, even then, he also acknowledged that even when an IPO becomes a priority, it usually takes another 12 months before going public. So things can be fast tracked, but at the end of the day, I don't think this is going to happen in 2025. And if it did, it would be tremendous news, and it would potentially skyrocket the price of XRP above that of Ethereum. But I think it's also really important to pay attention to a chart like this. The green line is obviously the market cap of Ethereum. These candlesticks or the price action is the market cap of XRP, and as you can see, both have continue to go up in a bull market trend. You can see that they're very highly correlated because the entire crypto market is highly correlated. The only time they haven't been highly correlated is in the situation where XRP mooned while Ethereum went from 300 billion up to about 491 billion. Still a $200 billion move, but this is a far greater move in terms of a percentage gain. But here is what's absolutely wild about the outperformance on XRP, which is why I still believe it's going to outperform Ethereum. However, I am skeptical that it's actually going to overtake Ethereum this bull market cycle in terms of market cap, considering it still has a long way to go. I believe $500 billion is in the cards. I believe even potentially $700 billion is in the cards for XRP. But at the pico top of the bull market, I think Ethereum with their spot ETF currently will already hit $750+ billion. So maybe they get close into tied, but it's going to be very hard for XRP to overtake Ethereum. Still, it's interesting when you look at a chart like this. Right now, again, price of XRP in terms of percentage gains, and then from these local lows down here at about 48 to 49 cents, if I pull up this green line, which is, or blue line, I guess this is purple now, it just changed, on Ethereum in terms of percentage gains, you can see from this period of time from November 9th or 10th of this year, XRP is currently up 344%, while Ethereum is only up 19.8%. So maybe Ethereum starts to catch up. Maybe Ethereum is severely lagging, and this is a really good opportunity for Ethereum. And let me get out of the way here so you can really see that right here, 19% right here. While XRP is up about 340%, but still, here's what's interesting about this Ethereum chart. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to take advantage of a lagging market, a lagging crypto that's going to do well, or maybe you just want to bet on the outperformer, something like XRP, which is what I want to do. I want to bet on the dark horse in the race. Currently, XRP is this bull market cycle, especially for a large cap crypto. So XRP easily outperforming Ethereum, and I think although XRP is going to gain in market cap, it's still going to be very difficult. Now, when I actually looked at the circulating supply of XRP, 57.4 billion tokens in supply, if the market cap reached $500 billion, then the price of XRP would be at about $8.70. Now, what's really interesting is that has actually been my price prediction. I said $14 on the major high, and that would be my major bull case scenario. My base case scenario, this bull market cycle, would be on the low end $5.25, in the mid range about $8.70. Now the reality is, if I added the circulating supply, let's say to 65 billion tokens, then what would happen is, and what I love about ChatGPT is it just does all of the math for us. If more tokens reach the supply, then the actual price of XRP at a $500 billion market cap would be somewhere in the $7.70 range. So I think, honestly, when we really think about all of these factors, $8.60 down to $7.70 seems to be a pretty good range to start taking profit, and maybe not all of the profit. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion and what I'll start to do, but I'll still hold a moon bag up to that $13, $14, $15 range if it does happen. But that would be an insanely large market cap. And you know what? We've seen crazier things happen in the past. So maybe Peter Brandt's prediction is going to occur here. I'm very bullish on XRP right now. I'm also looking at the futures market, and as you can see, we're seeing a consistent growth in open interest as the price is starting to rally here. So everything is looking really, really good for XRP, and the only thing that could potentially harm us is some really bearish news or something to happen to the market where the things start to break down, and that could truly change everything for all markets. So that said, you do want to pay close attention to those ranges I talked about earlier in this video, but if you enjoyed the video and you did learn something new, then be sure to subscribe and also check out Altcoin Pro University. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description below, bullrunners.com. Watch this 26-minute video, and if you join, you're going to be joining 1.1K members that are very active, paying to be here. So these people are serious, and obviously the value is there. We don't have this many members if the value is not there. This video will explain exactly what you get on the other side, but you're going to learn how to do technical analysis like a pro, among so many other things on live calls and things that we simply can't share on the channel. So thanks so much for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.